and I look forward to meeting everyone and working with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I go into the approval of the agenda and all that, I'm going to move right up to the top, the presentation from our, for our maple sugaring. So I'm going to let you all, what's that? We already did that. We did that before we went into non-public. So I'm going to leave that to the presentation, Mrs. Stanley and her team.
All right, come on over,
If any of the parents want to jump in and come around the side. Mike will open the side door too.
Yep, you can come this way, whatever's easier.
We can hang out in the hallway if you'd like.
What's that?
Or you can hang out in the hallway if you'd like.
Neither one anymore.
Absolutely. Anywhere you can see. It's better than where it was over there, that's for sure.
Come on over. You can sit over here if you want to watch. Absolutely. Here, have my seat right there.
There you go.
Take, you're in charge. It's your meeting. You're the boss.
School board cheers. All right. Go home now, right?
Yeah, just go that way. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Pass these out. We'll start with our song. If you know the words, you don't know. You know the words. You have it memorized? You have it memorized? I love that. You would like one? Would you like one?
Yeah,
One for each of you, please, plenty. Just ask not, would you like one, or do you have it memorized? Okay. All right. All right. 1, 2, 3.
it's the most mapley time of the year, with the taps drip, drip, dripping, and buckets all filling with sweet water sound. It's the most mapley time of the year. It's the sappiest season of all, with those sugary greetings and sweet pancake eatings when friends come to call. It's the sappiest season of all. There'll be steam surely blowing, evaporators going and gathering out in the snow. There'll be old maple stories and tales of the glories of sugaring long, long ago. It's the most mapley time of the year. There'll be much syrup flowing and fires be glowing when warm days are near. It's the most mapley time of the year.
So that is a song that we wrote as a whole grade level, working together to piece the pieces together, to redo the phrasing. So maple sugaring here at MES, we maple sugar outside. The last 2 years we've done it right outside on our 4-square court. It's a challenge, but everybody seems to be up to the challenge. You can see that we bundle up, make sure we're dressed appropriately so we can be outside all day. And we hold all of our classwork outside, so everything from math to reading to science to social studies, all outside. This year, that's the song, so you can skip past that. We're not going to play that because it's long. So we tap trees. That's what the video is. It's like 2.5 minutes long. So we go out and we tap trees. The kids do it, physically do the tapping with us, using the drill, the hammer, hanging the buckets. And then we, this year we focused on tying it to the maple legends from the Native Americans of our areas. And we read the Abenaki legend, the Iroquois legend, and the Lenape legend. And then they wrote essays on which one they thought was the best or was true. So they wrote opinion pieces based on that. So it's how we tie it to our curriculum. And we compare compared and contrasted. Keep going. Some kids, once they finished their opinion pieces, took some time to write their own stories. And so those were their two choices, the most realistic or their favorite. We read a Maple fiction book from a local author who actually went to school here, Megan Jones, Megan Lyman. And she has another book coming out about breakfast. So it's pretty cool to have an author that came from here. We did some maple art. So every Thursday we do a Think Outside the Box. So we did This Is Not a Maple Leaf, and they had to come up with something else that it could be. So it's a way to be creative. You want to talk about this one?
Is the maple ice cream?
Yes.
Yes, so we, as a part of our science unit, learning on how, different things react, we went outside and we made ice cream in the snow, so we put metal and then we made our own homemade ice cream, adding maple syrup, of course.
Go ahead.
Then we did some salt art with watercolor paint, except we used sap instead of just water to make some nice maple leaf with salt art. And then this year's science, a part of science was weather, learning about different clouds, storms, how to predict storms coming, and so being outside all day was really great to be able to see the different clouds. Every morning they had a cloud observation and a weather observation. And then we just being able to be outside, we could notice the different changes happening with the clouds.
You can go ahead. And then we do a maple label contest every year, so it's something that we don't alternate. So all of the kids do a drawing for our label. They have to have very specific things on the label. It has to say produced at Madison Elementary School and the year. And then we put it to our 3rd and 4th graders to vote. And then we take the top 4 or 5, 4 I think this year. 4 this year. And we put those forward to the whole school community, so staff as well as students. And then, so we had 4 final entries. You can go to the next one. And then our winning label this year was produced by a 3rd grader, and that's her drawing there. If you'd like to see the bottle up close, Miss Nancy Martin has. We tap trees at Nancy's house, so we give her a bottle of syrup. So if you want to see it close, Nancy has a bottle. Okay. And to go along with our Native American theming part, we've been studying Native Americans during social studies, so we made models of the birch baskets. Maple geography, we talked about the maple producing states and Canadian provinces, so we identified them on a map and found them all. If you step this way, you can probably see better. All right. Now, why isn't that coming up?
I don't know.
Yeah, so we connected some of the maple sugaring with some word problems and figuring out using some addition and subtraction with that.
And 4th grade actually figured out the total amount of syrup that we produced.
Sorry.
It's okay. By adding the liquid measures together and then calculating it into gallons. And then 6th grade, Ms. Woodard's 6th grade math class actually figured out our ratio for us of sap to syrup. And this year it was 42.5 gallons of sap to 1 gallon of syrup. So it's pretty good sugar content. We gathered sap. The kids were the ones who were responsible for carrying the buckets and getting it back to the school. So lots of physical activity. Oh, there's the 6th grade math. We donated syrup to the Easter breakfast, or the Easter egg hunt breakfast. That was one of our.
Word. Sorry.
It's okay.
We're just blaming the internet. That's all.
It's just the internet, yeah. And we can let the kids do some commenting. We tapped at some kids' houses and at community houses. And then school-wide involvement. During National School Breakfast Week, we had syrup for all of the students, K through 6.
Pretty sure some kids got maple milk.
Some kids may have gotten maple milk. Some kids maybe get maple milk often, actually. So we always have maple syrup in the cafeteria when we have breakfast, for lunch, and in the morning when we have breakfast. And the biggest news for us is that we've entered in what's called the Tucker Mountain Maple Challenge, which is a statewide competition for schools. There were 8 schools this year who entered, and we run first prize this year. So they came up last Thursday and presented us with our enormous check and a smaller check. So we won $1,000. And then Senator Mark McConkey came with a resolution from the New Hampshire State Senate for us. And the top picture, every child gets a 100 milliliter bottle of syrup to take home with them. We hope that they don't drink it on the bus on the way.
But we don't blame them if they do.
Now you know what to do with it.
I mean, we do drink syrup straight. Mrs. Woodard and I drink syrup straight all the time. The kids have a few comments that they have taken time today to write about their experiences maple sugaring. Do you want to go first? Okay, can you turn around and face everybody? You want to look at me? Okay, look at them.
I am proud of the narrative story I made about maple sugaring.
That's a great story. You want to go next?
Sure. I liked how we learned so much about maple sugaring, and I cannot believe that we just got $1,000.
You got this, nice and long.
One thing I'm going to remember about maple sugaring is the delicious sap ice and the smell of the sap cooking.
One thing, Daddy? Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
One thing I enjoyed about maple sugaring was collecting sap and being outside.
Mine's really long.
That's okay.
One thing I loved about maple sugaring is when we sat around the evaporator. It was so warm and it smelled so good. I heard it sizzle as we wrote about our maple stories. Once we were done with ELA, we went to collect sap. When we were done collecting the sap, we put it in the evaporator to make world-winning maple syrup.
One thing I liked about maple sugaring is collecting the sap and learning how the process works and being grateful we won the contest.
Yeah, nice and loud.
One thing I loved about maple sugaring was boiling the sap because when the steam hits your nose, it smells so good. One thing I loved about maple sugaring is collecting sap. One thing I remember is that we boiled sap. One thing I learned during maple sugaring is how to tap trees.
Awesome. Right? Nice and loud. Can you step to the side so I can see
One
you?
thing I really liked this year was maple sugaring with my friends and boiling the sap. Another fun thing was the class-made maple ice cream.
Awesome. Should we do another bit? You can shake.
One thing that was exciting about maple sugaring was that we got to go outside.
It's such a highlight. I like being outside. So, not only do we take our classroom outside, it's a huge undertaking, I think, for us and the kids, and a huge lesson in executive functioning and being able to plan ahead and what we need. So we learn so much doing it, I think, as adults every year, and the kids as well. And it is something that they look forward to. We have kids from 5th and 6th grade that love to come back and help. They beg to come gather sap with us, and that's one of the reasons I like having it on the playground is during recess week they can't help us. So thank you for letting us do this and for accepting it as part of our schooling program. Thank you.
Good job, everybody.
Thank you.
Does any board member have questions?
Do you know how much syrup you made in all?
It's about 6 gallons this year.
So have you guys ever kept, like, how many years have you been doing this
This
for?
is 8 years.
Have you kept it from each year just to see how it
No,
ends up?
We usually eat it.
That's fair.
So, Tuesday mornings, we like to call it Sticky Tuesday because there's always pancakes, waffles, French toast sticks, something like that. And I will tell you, I generally have a line of children in my classroom from all grade levels upstairs going, where's the real stuff? We know you have some. So we keep it in the closet upstairs so we can just use it all the time. But we bring it down to lunch and eat it at lunch. And so they generally consume all of it.
It's not just the children waiting.
No, I mean Mrs. Woodard might have a bottle in her fridge. So yeah, so we haven't really compared it because we usually eat it all.
Yep.
Well, you guys should be very proud of yourself.
Yeah.
That's very awesome.
Yeah. So that money is going to be, we're setting it aside so that hopefully we can build a sugar house at some point.
And
Hopefully.
if it wasn't for Mrs. Stanley, this program wouldn't be here.
Oh, thank you. It's a passion.
True.
I love it. And, I think it's a group effort because it really, like, the rest of the school has to accept it as well because we are outside on the playground and so the kids have to make adjustments when they're out there playing because they can't play on, they can't play on the equipment over there during recess because we're out there. So it's really great to have the support from all.
But it's also a community partnership.
Absolutely.
Because you have, yes, you're going and tapping trees at other people's homes, but then you have like Rob Hatch who's boiling stuff up for you. You
Yes.
have your husband who's helping boil stuff.
Yes.
So there
When
definitely
I
is
have
a
too much
lot
staff
of,
and I'm like, can somebody please take it?
and where we get the White Mountain Oil that provides the
Yes, White
propane.
Mountain
So there's a
oil,
lot that
propane.
goes into it for support.
Yeah, it's huge support from the community. I'm so grateful to the families and the community members who let us tap their trees. So,
We have a question in the back.
yes, Shannon.
How many days did you do this?
Oh gosh, we were probably outside for 30-ish days. Probably about a month. We were out there for 4 weeks. You counted. Thank you for keeping track. 4 weeks apparently we were out there. And it's cold when we first go out. Like we are bundled. It's still pretty cold out there. And as the days go on, and for this spot we're on the playground is warm when the sun is out, which is nice. But we're taking layers off because we're so hot. So. And it's a challenge of fighting the wind when you have paper. And
That was so
any other questions? You have a question?
Ms. Curtin said that without you, it wouldn't be this would never be it. Well, there's also Miss Hudson.
Absolutely, I can.
Yes.
Well, she started it though.
She started it.
But I definitely couldn't do it without my partner. If it wasn't for her, I would have been able to do this.
I just don't
That's funny.
Well, thank you.
Well, you have us.
And we have you.
Wow. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Much
you.
appreciated. Again, thank you very much. Congratulations. She's running the meeting. She's in there. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. She's on for the night.
Best of luck to you. Absolutely. Yes, you've been promoted. Public hearing.
All right.
Good job. I know it was scary.
So at this point, I need to make sure timeline matches up. 6:38. At 6:38, I'm going to recess the board meeting and open the public hearing. The public hearing is to expend from the Building Maintenance Capital Reserve Fund. Heather, the documents in here related to that.
If you don't, I don't know what I did with them all. I do.
I have full
Oh,
bag
I have
copies.
some? Okay.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
You can, I've seen it.
So this is the bathroom remodeling.
Right.
You-
I mean, do you want to speak to it, or do you want me to?
No, you wrote it up. I've read it briefly.
I do. So the Buildings and Ground Committee met, and we went over the CIP and some of the projects slated, and this was on there. We went through the kitchen, the office, the library, and decided, and there was some section, and I do not have it committed to memory, for potential replacing the flooring. Everything was in good condition, good enough to defer. The bathroom downstairs needed attention, so that got bumped up in priority.
Down this side.
Down, yes, the boys and girls room down here. So my directive was to write an RFP to have basically a renovation similar to upstairs. So that went out. We had a walkthrough, and I had two vendors that were going to come to the walkthrough. One had to back out at the last minute. They were in Dover pouring concrete, but the bids were due today. We got one bid back. It is the same contractor that did the work last year upstairs. The bathrooms are not quite twice the size as the upstairs bathroom, but pretty close. And all this bid that's here assumes, not that we can't change our minds, but assumes the same selections color-wise, which makes it a lot easier with the change in the flooring to go up a level in the grit, because it seems just to be a little bit slippery upstairs when it's wet, and where this bathroom is downstairs and kind of direct line from the playground door, that would be a wise change. So this came in at, find it, I lost it. 106,837, and it is a complete. It's the flooring in the walls that really need to be done. It's the same wall material that's here. It's a fabric colored sheetrock in a bathroom, and in the boys' room, particular behind the urinals, if you can picture that. So it's time. So it's original to when this part was built, and we discussed the options of just doing flooring. But once you take apart the partitions, for the stalls for the toilets, they're made of a high density particle board. They rarely go back together well. Usually they end up stripping the screws. And if you're going to pull everything to redo the floor, that is the time to change out the fixtures. So that was the RFP that went out, and he came back, and it is not twice the price of last year's upstairs, even though it's pretty near twice the size. The upstairs girls' room was 2 sinks and 2 stalls, 1 handicap accessible. This one is actually downstairs 3 sinks and 4 stalls. And the boys' room is 3 sinks with 2 stalls and 2 urinals, and upstairs it's just 2 sinks, 1 stall and 2 urinals. So the price pretty much held, which I was pleased to see. We actually asked Ken if maintenance-wise there were any issues upstairs, if everything's functioning, and it has been. So I propose that we make all the same selections unless there's really a strong feeling otherwise.
What I'm looking at this is like an entire regut, which is
Right.
I'll make a motion.
So we're in a public hearing right now, so we're not gonna move anything yet.
Right now, and then the other thing I did ask, because there's 3 sinks wide, and they're all the same height, and they are handicap accessible, but since this is on the floor with the preschool room and potentially the K12 coming from the library over, we're going to drop 1 sink on the end, so that's a little lower, and there's a couple sets of, like, I don't know, step stools or ladders that are kind of rickety that are going to go away, so that the little ones can get to the sinks, wash their hands, and wall mount paper towel holder. So it's a little more purpose built for them.
Public? Yes.
Hi, I'm Sarah Rodriguez. I'm the school nurse. Are the toilets automatic flushing or hand flush? Because we have quite a few preschoolers, kindergartners, and first graders who are terrified of the automatic flushing toilets.
They are
will
auto
not
flush.
use those bathrooms.
We could pull the batteries and make them not.
It's just something to consider when you're doing that. Like, they are terrified and they will not use the bathrooms by the gym. They will come down here to use these bathrooms because they're manual flushers.
We could make that change.
I never would have thought of that.
Or we could figure out a way to make them
Right, I wouldn't
scared.
recommend changing them. I would keep them as automatic flushers, and we just do more education with the kids to
They
access
do
them.
eventually grow out of it. You don't want them scared all year.
They probably have never heard it.
Right. And they growl. They
Even manual flush toilets can be super loud. My boys, when we
Yes.
would go camping, had to walk out, when they were little. So I would just go with it, and we can always work on helping the kids with desensitizing and stuff.
Okay. Flush class. Other anything else? Thank you.
I will say
My fault,
timeline
Miss
they're willing to work with us on. I know we have ESY going. But they seemed amenable if we can do the first 3 weeks of ESY and then kind of come in and start the demolition. And then hopefully that gets ESY time to settle in and then plan on rerouting those last 2 weeks, either upstairs or down the hall. But I know last year we kind of had the dust barrier up and the hallway was filled all summer long, which was not as desirable this time around because of where it is.
Got it. So, any other questions, thoughts, or concerns? I'm gonna leave, by law, I have to leave the public hearing open for 30 minutes. I'm gonna leave the public hearing open for 30 minutes and run it in conjunction with the board meeting. So if there is any questions or concerns about that said project, please raise your hand and let me know, and we can discuss that until 7:08, at least. All right, so I'm gonna resume the board meeting now at 6:45. And start with the public comment.
I would just like to, on behalf of the Madison Garden Club, thank the school, particularly Heather Woodard, for the retrieval of our lost barrel. So a barrel was taken, the garden club plants the barrels, I don't know if you probably have all heard the story. One went missing out in front of the school, and the PD posted it. And I think that's how we found out, right, Heather? And anyway, she checked the cameras, they traced the car, they got the barrel back, they got my tools back, and it's all good. But, I mean, that's a community, you know.
Prison sentence was to plant the barrel and have you watch them?
No. I mean, I don't know, the fellow thought it was a yard sale kind of thing, but there were some things taken, some things not, but it's all back, it's all good. And this was on a holiday weekend,
Right.
so I was totally impressed, and we thank you.
Well, I'll just say he wasn't the only one that slowed down. Other people did too. It was very
Really?
interesting.
A lot of times, and it's weird.
For half an hour, you know, it's like.
There were probably like 3 or 4 cars that slowed down, a couple pulled in, and so it was very interesting. So
And they were pretty selective on what they took and what they left. I'll just leave it at that. But
Okay.
anyway,
Thank you.
It's all good.
happy to help.
Other public comments? Sharon?
I have a couple things. Sharon Schilling from the Advisory Budget Committee. Last year, there was a discussion about the 3 school districts banding together to do an infrastructure assessment. Has that, are the other schools gonna participate? Where has that gone? Because I know the town had talked about participating if Tamworth wasn't going to, or one of the other schools.
So,
You want this or you want it?
I want it. I want it.
so there were outliers. At this point, it did not
Well,
hit.
Tamworth wants it.
Yes.
They've been on a budget freeze since August.
Yes,
This
sure.
was not the year to make that happen. It's not in their budget for next year, but they actually did something similar with a more local company in 2008, and that's the last time they did it. And they saw benefit in it then, and it was something that they would benefit from again. Freedom is kind of the outlier, but that's okay. So I haven't given up on it. It's just taking longer than I wanted.
Has there been any thought to talking to the town? As the town was interested, if one of the schools wasn't gonna do it, in picking up the town buildings to make up that other portion and move forward with it.
I can reach out to them.
I know Selectman Bowie was supposed to be the point of contact.
I know where to find him.
So we will reach out and
Um,
try to get an update for next month as well.
Thank you. I saw in the meeting package the information about, excuse me, information about the, is it Granville Scholarship? Can you tell me how much is in that fund?
When we get to it.
So I can't.
When we get to that, we'll discuss it, yeah.
Okay, and then, because of the format of this particular meeting, one of the things that I'm finding to be a challenge is I don't necessarily know all of the questions that I have regarding the budget and the numbers that are here until we get to them, but that we're past the public comment. So I noticed on the schedule that you do not have a meeting scheduled for July, and I was hoping perhaps that there could be a joint meeting in July instead of this meeting in order to start the groundwork for talking about proceeding through budget process, proceeding through review of budget numbers, those kinds of things. One of the questions I would ask you is there anything in the budget at this point that concerns you with regard to a particular line item that you may or may not know is going to get way over expended, or, you know, it's something out of the ordinary came up, but you're gonna end up taking it out of that line. I mean, there's no chance for us to have those kind of dialogues until we start to actually meet as the advisory budget committee, which will be later this month, and have a school board member attend that meeting. But for tonight's meeting, do you see anything in your budget that gives you any concern?
So just remember, we're different than the town.
I don't-
Our budget hasn't started yet.
No, even the budget you're in.
No, we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about currently where we're at and where we are with unreserved fund balances and things like that. So I guess to answer the question, do we feel like we're in any deficit of place? I don't believe we're there.
With regard to the July timeframe.
We have not discussed having a meeting in July or not yet. That is something that we discuss as a board at this meeting, whether we're going to meet in July or not.
Are you proposing that we meet with the budget committee?
With the budget committee, we come to you. Either way, we have some sort of a joint meeting to start talking about some of this stuff, like where we stand, where we want to go. We, as a budget committee, had a mandate for ourselves that was self-imposed, that we were going to develop hopefully by June. I think it's going to get put off until July now because we were not authorized. We didn't have a meeting in April, or May.
Yeah.
Sorry, May. May's meeting got canceled.
I know, I showed up and I got thrown out.
We all showed
Just
up
saying.
and we all got told no. But anyway, I think moving forward, one of the things you had talked about was having more meetings, even of a working group session kind of thing, not necessarily the full school board, but at least a couple members and maybe a couple members of the ABC to start working budget issues, budget concerns, budget guidance, not necessarily numbers because we wouldn't have them yet, but those guidance pieces and those objectives and goals so that nobody's scrambling to try and figure out how to get a meeting together when it gets to be September and October.
We did put out a budget timeline,
I did see that.
and the budget timeline did include extra meetings to meet with the budget committee.
But we have had no chance as a budget committee to review that to see if it even fits within the budget committee schedule and counter propose, which is why I'm offering the ability to have a joint meeting in July when it appears, at least from this, that there was no school board meeting set.
Okay, we will discuss and
Thank you.
advise. Thank you. Other public comments? Any others? Okay, we're gonna move on. Approval of the agenda. Take a motion to approve the agenda. Motion by Jeremy, second by Ed. Any other additions or deletions? I do have, under new business,
Somebody really needs to talk to the person that does these agendas. Under mine, a fuel price lock authorization.
Got it. Business administrator, fuel lock, price lock.
I left it off of 2 agendas.
Okay.
I'll get it.
No problem.
Maybe it's because you don't want to deal with it.
So, under
Prices
business
go higher.
administrator, we're gonna add a B, fuel price lock. Under new business, we should add, accept bids for the bathroom. We also add E, so that would be D. E would be to accept, money. Under new business, and I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
Can we add under committee updates,
Yes. SE
the
930.
master steering
Master plan, master steering. Yep,
and, oh, there was something else.
SAU
SAU 9
913.
and SAU 13, please, yes. Unless Mike's gonna cover that under.
Deb, I'd be happy to get with you.
Okay, all right, so I have some additions to there. A motion, a second on the floor. Any other additions or deletions? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Carries. We have the approval of the April 6th non-public and executive session minutes. Fortunately, they were not in the board packet. The wrong set got added to the board packet. They are here for the board. I will take a motion to approve the April 6th non-public minutes. Motion by Jeremy, second by Deb. Any additions or deletions? I had one on line 1. It's in the paragraph on 128 to 130. Positions, previously stipend positions will be revisited them in the fall. We generally do that in the early summer.
Yeah, it's always done May or June.
Right, we're at June now, so it's tough, so it would be the next meeting that we have to approve those positions that we pulled off, which were the,
There was the
2
react-
stipend positions, the, rec committee liaison and the, sub-coordinator.
Jim, can you remind me again, what is the total impact of those 2 positions? But
4,000
I'm sorry.
total impact of those 2 positions.
The rec liaison, I think, is 1,500. The substitute coordinator is 2,000, and the one that was missed was the head teacher, which I believe is 750.
Anything else? Trust me, I'm not the best at fast reading, so anything else?
So, I'm sorry, I'm
Go.
very confused. This whole minute thing is confusing me. So we're looking at this new one that we
At
just
the
got?
new one, yes.
Okay, and what did you propose?
So on lines 128 to 130 there,
I thought I was looking in the right spot.
yeah, it says we'll revisit them in the fall.
Oh, okay.
And it was just that we weren't gonna wait till the
At a
fall.
later
At a
date.
later date,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, gotcha. Now I'm on the same page.
It's in the non-public minutes. I don't know if you have that in front of you. If that's, the board packet ended up with the public minutes.
Right.
The non-public minutes, I don't think ended up
No,
in
we
the
don't,
board
we're,
packet.
and we're looking at something else.
Okay, just,
Thank you.
no problem. Anything else? Seeing none. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Carries. May 4th public meeting. Take a motion to approve the May 4th public meeting minutes. Motion by Deb, second by Jeremy. Any discussion, additions, deletions, or corrections? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Carries. And then you have your May 4th, non-public meeting minutes. Take a motion to approve those. Motion by Jeremy, second by Deb. Any other discussion there? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Carries. You have your consent agenda, you have your principal's report, your enrollment report, your capital reserve fund balance, your capital improvement plan, your revenues report, and expenditures report for FY '26. Take a motion to approve the consent agenda. Motion by Sherry, second by Deb. Any other discussion there? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Carries. All right. Kennett High School graduation is June 13th, 10 a.m. The sixth grade promotion here at the elementary school is June 17th at 6 p.m. Last day of school is June 18th at 12:30 dismissal. The SAU 13 joint board meeting is June 22nd at 6 p.m. here in Madison.
Gym, art room?
The gym. There will be a presentation from the New Hampshire School Boards Association there about school board training. Immediately following the joint board meeting, Madison School Board will meet, so we will have that posted to meet, because unfortunately they were going to come tonight but weren't able to, which is the New Hampshire School Board Association was going to present to us on a strategic plan. They weren't able to make it this evening, so they will be there that night. So we're going to post our meeting immediately following the joint board meeting to meet with them and hear their proposal on a strategic plan. Our next regular school board meeting is set for August 3rd. This is where I would like to have some discussion. Do we want to have, it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on that would constitute a July meeting.
Superintendent.
We're going to have a new superintendent.
We need a school board meeting.
Okay, so July, what is that date in July?
Hopefully not the 4th.
No, the 4th is on a Saturday, so
July
6th.
6th.
So July 6th would be that Monday. I'm happy to carve out time if the board wishes to meet with have the budget committee join us for discussions. Does that work for the budget
I
committee?
can check with them.
Okay. So we will post for that evening.
Okay.
So our next school board meeting will be July 6th at 5:30 p.m. And then inside of that, we will post a meeting with the budget committee, and the budget committee can separately post that as well. You tell me what time works, and we'll make sure we carve it into we will stop this meeting and go to there. Next, we have the Student Services Director's report.
I've got some updates there. First, I'll just mention that at the last SAU 13 joint board meeting, the board accepted Lisa's resignation. We have posted for that position, and I've received input of representation from each of the boards who would be sitting on that committee. So Deb has graciously volunteered, so I'll be working with Deb. Adrian Pitts from Freedom and Hillary Bear from Tamworth, and we're looking for anyone out there for community members. I have some teachers that have expressed interest, but we'd love to get a community member as well on that committee. So if you have interest, please email the SAU office, give us a call. Brief report, what's happening this summer with Student Services. Extended school year is going to run from July 6th through August 5th. It will run Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 9 to 12. It will be right here in Madison. Jen Bent will be coordinating. She is currently working with staff to get the letters back and forth to make sure students have permission to join that. And case managers are in the process of finalizing and gathering that necessary paperwork for students who qualify.
Questions?
I'm sorry, Dr. Arnold, what was the dates?
Sure, it is July 6th through August 5th, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 to 12.
And there's a separate summer enrichment part
That's
to that,
correct.
right?
That's correct. And those run tandemly.
Do they still coordinate with the rec for
We
Like
do
halfway
coordinate
through the
too,
day.
yep, so if they wanna get dropped off at the lake on those lake days, then they can. Yep.
Other questions? Seeing none. Heather Sherwood, you're up.
I'll try and keep it brief. The fund balance is still tracking pretty similar. I did do this on the 21st of May.
Page
And
35.
Page 35, and since then, a couple of changes. One, Janet and I finally got a chance to sit down and talk and go through some things. And she let me know that by and large, except for a couple of milk orders and some small produce orders, her food budget her buying is done. So I think I have encumbered about 12,000 more than is needed there based on last year's purchases. So I have in here an additional food service exposure, 20,000 kind of backed out. I was looking at a food service transfer closer to 55, but now it looks like between that and the anticipated sales between now and the end of school, that it will be closer to 40. So this fund balance would actually go up 15,000-ish. Which is good. And then I did find out this morning, this isn't a huge sum, but it's $1,447. New Hampshire Primex, which does all our insurance, but in this case specifically our workers' comp, they have a surplus in their workers' comp fund, so we will see a refund. Right, I should say refund, but a rebate kind of, for our workers' comp. Which is good because our rate actually went down a little even. And they have that surplus.
Rate went down and surplus?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a joke to me.
So, I mean, we're still kind of hovering at that, after adding back our set aside, $1.9 million, I still don't expect that to change a lot. If Conway bills less than expected, it could go up some more. That's kind of where we're at.
Okay.
Any questions?
Questions? Okay. So did that answer your question, Sharon, about where we're at?
Sort of.
Okay. Moving on. You had fuel price lock.
Fuel price lock. So the last couple of years, each board has granted me the authorization to, when I go out to bid for fuel, to lock it in if there's a good price. Typically I reach out to as many as I can. There's really only about 3 that have the volume of fuel oil that can supply all 3 schools in the district. In the last at least 3 years, Irving has come back as the lowest bidder. But when they send their price out, it's good for 24 hours and I have to lock by midnight.
Right.
Little touchy, but the prices have been kind of going up and down. We're kind of getting close to a down. So I wanted the authorization that when I reach out, that I can lock it in. I also find with Irving that they almost always give their best price the first time through, and each time I go back, it's a little higher.
I think you've done this for a few years now, so you have a better understanding of the timing that works best for not just one but all.
I don't know what to expect this year, but for 24-25 we locked in at 2.854. Last year we locked in even with the 10% tariff, which I'm not entirely certain that Irving charged every time. I think they removed it because there was some back and forth on that. Our price was 2.377. If we paid any with the tariff, that was 2.6147.
And right now, oil prices are sitting up in the mid to high 4s. Oof.
Heather, that's negotiated with Freedom and Tamarack.
I put all of the oil gallons together. Each school is billed separately, but I bid them together. I know I have, Tamworth granted me the authorization, wanted me to check into the community energy partners. I don't know. Often we get a lot of gallons in a delivery, and then we get them more frequently than a residential household would. But,
And I know
this is an interesting year. I'm nervous, but.
I know we have talked with the towns in the past and getting all three towns on board at the same time was challenging. And I remember they did an analysis, and it was, the town bids a little differently because they're bidding for diesel fuel as well as fuel oil and propane. So they have different mixes of fuels that they're bidding for. So it didn't always fall in line with what their needs were. I don't know if that's still something that's viable or not, but I mean, it's always better to look and see how many more gallons we can put in, but I don't think, it didn't work in the past. Thoughts or concerns? I would accept a motion to allow Heather the authorization to lock in fuel prices as she see fit. Motion by Deb, second by Jeremy. Any other discussion there? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. And I think we just keep our eye on the ball and see what's going on, because it's one of those that gets crazy. Perfect. Others, Heather? Okay. Heather?
Just to follow up on the ESY, I did meet with Jen Bent today. She does have all the paperwork, which is great, which is not typical. So it's wonderful to have all the paperwork, and we have, students will be joined with our enrichment students. So they do kind of coincide together. So we do work together. She's setting up meetings to meet with the enrichment teachers and with the ESY teachers to talk about what that looks like this year and how to do it. So just so you have that. We have 11 currently for enrichment signed up. I don't know her numbers for ESY.
Heather, can I just ask a question about that? I don't know if this is a possibility, but maybe some students don't qualify for it or don't particularly need it overall, but like, have we ever thought of like maybe like throwing in some tutoring during that time so that like kids that are struggling in, let's just say, reading or just math could go and spend like a little bit of time over the summer working with a tutor?
We haven't done that specifically. That would kind of take place during that enrichment time. To be honest, we don't have a lot of staff. We have a very small pool of staff, and I only have 2 people that were willing to teach the enrichment program. So
are you looking for
it's
more
hard.
of a drop-in availability?
Yeah, I just think, I have a kid in middle school that's struggling with math. I would love to just have like a tutoring session for him like throughout the summer, like where he could, for a few weeks, like align it with like that program, but like not make it part of that program. So it could be 3 or 4 kids would show up on a Monday and a different group, just a thought.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't know how I would staff it right now because we've struggled to staff our enrichment program for the past several years. So that would be, we do offer tutoring all throughout the year. So, and we offer before and after school. So we have quite a good number of students taking advantage of that. But I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think it's a matter of trying to figure out the staffing because it's hard.
So
summer is hard.
if we would offer some, I mean, if we could get somebody to do it, I think we could approve that. Would they have to be specific to, God, that thing drives me nuts. Would it have to be specific to, like grade level wise? That they would have to be, if tutoring does not require.
You'd want a certified teacher for their area with the students.
Right.
So
but if we're talking opening it up to say middle and high
Yeah.
school students as well, would we need somebody who was grade level certified for?
I would believe so, especially what my mind initially went to is utilizing Title I funding for this. This would be an eligible Title I funding, and they would want to make sure, as I think it's a best practice, that you have teachers that are certified in that grade level to provide instruction for those students. We've run a tutoring program in Tamworth in the past. The past year we didn't because of a mixture of staffing and enrollment. But I think in order to do that too, you'd want to make sure there was some sort of sign up so you have staff there that is, being paid to be working with students, and if no one comes, then that's kind of an issue.
Right, it's a cost with a no benefit.
Typically the model in SAU 9, where
there's the enrichment and the ESY, but there's also the tutoring. And so like for us, a lot of kids go to rec, which is right across the driveway. So we can go get them from rec for an hour, bring
Got
them
it.
over to the school, tutor them, and then bring them back. And it's grant funded money.
So maybe we table it for the SAU meeting, and maybe that could be something we could work together to model.
Right.
Because I feel like I think it's definitely needed.
And whether they're high school or middle school or elementary students, they're all our students. So I think it gives a benefit there that parents, one, don't have to drive to Conway for an hour of tutoring, or I'm not opposed at all to something like that, as long as we can find the staff that fit within the model in which the state requires us to use funding for. So can we add that to the July? Actually, let's add it to the June joint board meeting, please. Other questions? All right, Heather, moving on.
So we have the end of year big integrated arts day. This year is an immersion day, so a little bit different than what we've done in the past. The theme this year has been homemade at MES, so looking to give children 2 experiences, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, kind of like a fully immersed experience with a skill or a hobby of their interest. We are looking for community volunteers to help us out with that. You don't have to be an expert, just have to be passionate. Our topics are baking / cookie decorating, bike safety and maintenance, construction, building, birdhouses is the example, but it doesn't have to be birdhouses. Cooking, crocheting, knitting, golfing. We have coordinated, our PE teacher has coordinated with Indian Mound and Bucket of Balls, so we have some kids that will be going there in the morning, and then afternoon he'll set up a driving range for the younger kids at Burkefield. Hairstyling and cosmetology, so we have someone on staff with that skill set, but we also have Molly Arnold, who has offered to come and do some stuff with our kids. Origami, piano, drawing, sketching, painting, so an art-focused one. Guitar and ukulele, jewelry making, pottery, yoga, sign making, or other Cricut cutting things. The list was bigger. It narrowed to this. We gave the kids like all these options of things that they could choose. And so this is the narrowed list of what their preferences. They were able to choose 5 things, so then we could pair them up with 2 of those. So it's exciting for us to be able to bring people in to give kids this opportunity to something that they may not have experienced before. So that's my hope, that it is successful for them.
And that's the 11th?
It is the 11th.
All day?
So it's 2 sessions. One is from 10 to 11:30, and the other one is 1 to 2:30. So if someone signs up to volunteer, they can volunteer for both sessions or just the morning or the afternoon. We've put it out on the Facebook page. We've put it to our parent community. I will stick it on the website. 'Cause I
Look right
realize
up there to that
it's
little
not
red
there.
dot.
It's not
Give
on
your
our
public
website, but it's
service
on one of the
announcement.
Facebook pages. It has the link, and I know the rec has shared it out too, so it's definitely out there if anybody wants to join
I
us.
just have a question on that.
Sure.
The kids get to choose like which one they want to do.
Mhm.
Do you just feel like if someone was to volunteer, like planning purposes, like you have
Yes.
a list of how many students?
We would have us, and we would have staff at every one of those groups. No one's being left alone with some wonderful, amazing children.
That
to
way,
do
I'm
it on
just
their own.
looking
So-
at like if someone
Yep,
wanted to
and you
volunteer,
can
what-
sign up to just help. You can sign up to lead it. You can work together. We can collaborate. We definitely have enough staff that are willing to work with people, but we're just looking for someone who has a passion that wants to share it with kids.
So if we have cosmetology, do we have volunteers to sit in a chair?
I'm pretty sure those kids are pretty excited to sit in those chairs.
I was thinking adults that might want to sit in there and get a hairdo.
Do volunteers have to be background checked?
They don't, because they're not being left alone with children.
Okay.
There will always be a staff member
If someone's
present.
going off-site, then I would want to look at that. But if they're on school grounds and they're not along with kids, then yes.
So does this take the place of the around the world?
Right, so each year we've done something that has tied in with our theme. So whether it's been the Candyland or the Renaissance Fair, any of those. Last year we went to Storyland because of the year of the book. So this is this year's version of it.
And a side note, are you guys not doing the egg drop this year?
it's an every other thing, every other year, so they did it last year.
okay.
So they're not doing it this year. They're making some great bottle rockets last week, though. Today's Monday. Last week. Oh, and do I have more on that list? Sorry. Open positions, we have one more teaching position, special ed, we're hoping to fill, and part-time building and ground supervisor. And the last thing on mine is the Kennett seniors will come walking through on Friday, June 12th at 9:30. We are their first stop. So if any parents or anyone else in the community wants to come and cheer them on, they'll come in, we'll welcome them, and then they'll go up, do the loop, and then go down and around, and then they'll take a picture in front of the horses before they get on the bus. It's a great tradition that Mr. Carpenter has created for our kids. It's really great for kids, staff, parents, to come and just celebrate their children.
So about 3 years, 4 years old now? More.
It's I think it might be 4. It's definitely 3.
4, yeah, I think you're right, I think it's 4.
But we've been stepping up our game here, so we go back and find their old yearbook photos and stuff, and we put things on the walls so that way when they come through, they have things that they can see and like, oh, remember when? And so we try to find pictures of them when they were younger. So.
Perfect.
Yep.
Questions for Heather? Yes.
I have a question. So I was just hoping for clarification. So, in your report, you referenced that there are going to be 28 sixth graders graduating in June, but the enrollment says 30 sixth graders. So well, there's no problem getting the enrollment done. That would be me. 'Cause first I had to find it. In case anybody didn't know, we're a little short-staffed in the SAU. And I don't know about my permissions and I foresee, if I can see everything, I can 100% say I don't know if the any time of year update is in there or if I just can't see it.
It's 28.
Thank you.
Other questions?
And are we done with kindergarten registration?
We're done. That's a one-day event, but we will welcome children to register at any time.
Where'd we land on that?
I don't think anything has changed since last month. I don't have it. I want to say it's 11 or 12. I know I gave one family a tour, waiting to see if they're deciding to send their child here or not.
I thought you said 13. I thought you said 13 last month. That's what I remember.
There's so much in my head, I don't keep that one on the top, I'm sorry. So, somewhere in that low double digit range.
If July, you can just have an update.
Sure.
As to what you have at that point. As a whenever the packets go down. Yeah. Other questions for Heather? Moving on. Granville Scholarship criteria.
Yeah, on page 36, you'll find the Granville Scholarship. We had some conversation about this at the last board meeting. Unfortunately, we didn't get any nominations or applicants for this scholarship, and we wanted to look at changing the criteria. I don't know if there's still time. I'm doubtful that we'll hit anyone this year, but hey, we'll cross our fingers. But we
Could
want
make a suggestion. It was suggested to me by somebody else on one of the scholarship committees. I could share with you the applications that we have for the Nancy Spalding one that has, and you could look to see if there are any there that you feel line up with what you're looking
from
at.
another
You could
pool.
do that.
That is a good
And
idea.
I don't think that just because the scholarship night is tomorrow night, I don't think there's a deadline of giving money to anybody,
Right.
to
Wouldn't be in that
recognize
official
them.
capacity. That's what I was.
So I'd be
really
happy
worried
to
about.
share that if people wanted to go that route.
Yeah,
Just
I think that's a good
sorry
idea.
to think to ask that.
No, I think that's a good idea. We're looking for any way we can help kids and support them through their post-secondary education. So I highlighted a few things that I think are inhibiting our ability to get this out there. Right now, it's really aviation heavy, and unfortunately, I think that might be an inhibitor. So I wanted to get the board's sense of these 3 areas, if there's things you'd like to change or we want to keep it the way it is. I think Heather provided a nice suggestion, so I would be open to any feedback as we move forward.
So I was thinking on this, and I don't know, I know we're trying to like troubleshoot for this year, but looking forward, if it would benefit us to have one of us speak with a guidance counselor up at the high school about scholarships and what the requirements are, and work with them to help us to make it more accessible to more students, I'd be willing to do that if that's something the board wants to do. But I also thought like that is the major inhibitor, and if there was somehow a way to group all the Madison resident scholarships and make being a Madison resident the top criteria, so this doesn't appear, like I think it's this
So the-
being in there.
The eligibility part on the top, I know 1 and 2, I believe those were written into the original gift. So I think those are the only two that are the original, which the applicant must be graduating senior from Madison, and the applicant must have attended Madison Elementary School for at least 3 years. So I think, yeah, we should,
Because if it was presented as like, if you're a Madison resident or and that additional,
yeah,
and then we can kind of go through like what their interests are and find the ones that are most related to it, so we're not losing a whole pool of kids because they think they're not going to be engineers
right.
or.
I'm not gonna be an aviation audit.
Because I could even
Aeronautics
see,
engineer.
like, I just think from a personal standpoint, so like when my kids were applying for college, they were computer science.
Right.
But that is heavily in like the math and the engineering and it's all, so like, I feel like if we were more flexible.
Yep.
And obviously that, we're gonna keep that in mind, that that's our preference when we decide,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah, and just a little bit of history. We did revamp this a year or two ago, in trying to get more participation in this. So I think the more we should just keep at it and hope we're able
Yeah.
to get a pool.
I would, go ahead.
Sorry, I think last time, didn't we revamp it so it wasn't so specific on aircraft related?
It was even more so.
More specific
aircraft.
than it
Yeah,
was.
we dialed this
Right.
down a little bit.
We dialed it down to, because I'm just noting, can't remember the original scholarship criteria, but I know this one now says fields with technical skills in engineering, mechanics, or transportation. So, and then I'm noticing on the essay submission, their passion for aviation or a technical field. So.
Yeah, but I think we may have a lot of candidates there, but I think Deb's suggestion of having somebody meet with
Oh, absolutely.
the high school guidance counselors to say, hey, Johnny, I think you might benefit from this. It looks like what you're thinking.
Do they fill out a generic thing anymore at the high school when they do applications?
I mean, that would be, like, if we had somebody to talk to, I think those would be the things that we would learn.
So they had the Go Mary, which was that generic thing, and then they lost it kind of mid-scholarship season this year. So they went to you'll see some of the scholarships are handwritten. So that got changed. One thing you have, I think that you have a very specific essay, whereas typically there's just a general essay that goes with it. So I don't know if that's a deterrent. I mean, it's $2,000. You wouldn't think it would be, but if you don't feel like you qualify for that, then,
I think just knowing that you're a Madison student, you qualify for the scholarship, that's what my kids were looking for.
Yep.
But I think because there's some of this other stuff, they're like, I don't think that's me, or that.
I've seen so many over the years that the Madison Scholarship Committee, the outside of the school one that gives $1,000, so many kids don't even apply for it. And it's like, if you are a Madison student, you qualify.
Maybe we need to put something right in the title. I mean, it might be, that might be something we're overlooking too, just Madison Elementary, you know, or something. I mean, there might be a better terminology, but identify it's Madison right in the title.
Yeah,
So,
like Madison
Are
Elementary
you willing,
graduates.
are
Yeah,
you
there you
willing
go.
to meet with them at the high
I
school?
would be happy to, yeah.
I would like to nominate Deb to
Second.
do that. All in, any other discussion? Anybody else want to fight her for it?
Nope.
All
Another
in-
thing I was thinking though, Jim, is
Hold on, all in favor?
yeah.
Aye. Carries.
I'm abstaining.
Don't bother, you're in favor, you put it on the floor. Jerry,
Like, I was just thinking, like, could we shoot out a letter to the families that we of seniors, or whenever they apply for the juniors? Hey, this is a reminder. Like, there's this.
yeah,
Or like when they're making honor roll or whatever, like throw that in there.
yep.
Yeah, I think that,
On the honor roll letters, it wouldn't be a bad thing to put in the high school honor roll letters to not, to consider,
yeah.
you know, scholarships when they come up. As a Madison resident, this gives, you know, this honor roll gives you a benefit or something.
Yeah, I think you can't over communicate this. I mean, we should try all avenues.
Yep, Janet.
Who seconded this?
Seconded by Jeremy.
There was a question earlier about the balance of the
Yes,
Granville Scholarship. I don't remember off the top of my head. It is in the town's annual report. It's one of those accounts. It's either 10,000 or 12,000. It's somewhere in that. I don't remember.
I believe it was 10.
Right, so it is held by the trustees of the trust fund for the town, so I don't know.
But it is in that town report. I remember seeing it this past year. I'm trying to look it up online and I can't find it that easily, so I don't know. Sorry.
I believe it's 10.
Okay. Any other discussion related to scholarship? Committees, Corner Schoolhouse update. Nancy is, Nancy's representing.
I'm Leanne tonight. The Corner School Preservation Committee update. Leanne apologizes, she was going to be here, but she got wrapped up in her children's baseball games and life and such, so she apologizes and she gave me some words to say, so apologize that I have to read this, but as you may recall, the Madison Corner Preservation Committee was successful in securing the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance's nomination as one of the 7 to save in the fall 2025 program aimed at helping groups, organizations, and people rehabilitate community resources of significance such as our schoolhouse. One of the benefits of this program is the access we gain to different grants and service vendors who specialize in these types of projects. As a result, we have successfully secured a $4,500 grant from the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance at the end of 2025 and into 2026 towards having a historic building assessment prepared through a historic building consultant. This assessment is not only necessary to pursue other construction grants, but also outlines the significance of the resource to our community, while tracking its living history up through the current, as well as offering guidance on thoughtfully rehabilitating the building to best serve the needs of the society today while paying triple homage to its significance. Our committee interviewed and selected Margaret Gartner from Greater Portland area, who specializes in preparing these types of projects. She has met with Leanne and myself multiple times and has diligently been working on preparing our building assessment. As of last week, we successfully submitted our draft to the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance for their review and are awaiting suggestions before we're finalized for our assessment with Margaret. We're working towards having this prepared in time for our LCHIP submission no later than June 17th. Speaking of LCHIP, we are at it again. In April, we submitted a letter of intention to apply for the LCHIP grant. We very quickly received our approval to apply, conditioned that we had our draft building assessment from Margaret turned in. With the building assessment draft submitted, we have full approval to apply and submit a full application. This year, because we have a building assessment to supplement our application, we can ask for more than $25,000, which would be a $50,000 total project cost, which is close to what we asked in 2025. LCHIP is a matching grant award where they fund 50% of the total cost, provided that the organization can cover the other 50%. This year, we're working on putting in a request for the total project cost not to exceed $150,000.
This amount may be less, which means the grant would be for $75,000. We are still evaluating what portions of this project will make this amount based on the building assessment estimates. You may recall from our attempt last year that we may have some additional documents that are required for our submission, and we're asking, would it be possible to have an updated memorandum of understanding dated 2026? And also, Heather, would we get an updated copy of the insurance policy for the schoolhouse? So that's the end of all those words.
I think the memorandum of understanding would be the same as it was and has been.
I believe so.
Just
It's
updated with.
Updated so that it's, I mean, nothing's gonna really change until construction and that, and I think that would be a different.
When would you need that updated?
Our
For the
application-
submission?
Our application is due June 17th, so
16 days.
Okay.
ASAP.
Right. I just want the board to be able to review it before we approve and sign it.
Well, we're not changing anything, right?
No, it'd stay the same.
Can we do the same, like, email with the Emma?
Yep.
Can we do both the rec and that one?
Absolutely.
Poll the board, sure.
Yep. So we will send that to the board to review for approval of signature, and then just send that back to the
You can
superintendent, and then
sign
I
it.
can sign it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm okay with that, if the board is okay with
Do I
that.
have to make a motion on that?
I'll take a motion to approve sending it out, the superintendent sending out blind carbon copied for approval.
I'll second.
A second by Jeremy. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, carries, okay. Anything else, Nancy? Okay.
thank you.
Building and grounds.
Can we talk?
Go ahead.
All right. So the generator work's been done, so that the internet and telephone will stay up and run off the generator now.
Which worked, because we lost power the other day and.
Yes, it's already been approved now.
Yep.
So it does work.
We had internet.
Everything stayed up when the power went out for whatever, a couple minutes there.
Yeah.
As well as the, so the main circulator pump up near the office area was in fact replaced, and the bypasses were put in so that in the event that it does die, we can actually just bypass around it and replace it without taking the system down.
Oh, nice.
So
Which was different from
what it was, you would have to actually take the system out of service to do that before. So two positive things, the bathrooms, which is nice to have. We've talked about a few other things. One is leveling the top of the field up here, which is somehow become a bowl. We need to probably, potentially, I'll ask Heather Sherwood about potentially getting bids to level that off and slope it away so that we could actually grow grass up there and not a lake and or ice. And then, as a committee, we've thrown out around the idea of possibly building a small garage at some point and getting rid of the 19 sheds we have. It's just a thought at this point. I haven't put any more thoughts into where or what, but just want to kind of throw it out there to the wider board that we've been tossing around that idea. So a place we can put the trailer that it won't get run over. But it would just be a garage, no heat, just lights and a door, storage.
Easily accessible storage.
Yep.
That would be a solid place and one look.
Maybe if we sell all our sheds, we could build one.
Could have a shed sale.
Auction. 'Cause
Oh,
that
there you
is
go.
Like a starting bid.
So yeah, we'll if that's something the board broader would like to go with, we can, Jeremy and I can meet with Heather and we can talk about ideas of what makes sense physically. You know, how much space we would need to, you know.
I mean, it could even be still.
Yep.
Those are,
But, well,
those are cheaper.
Right. Hopefully something we can get in the CIP and or potentially for a warrant article for next year, depending on costs. Just see if we can get
I
something.
would
put
love
together.
to see how that would look. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think it would clean up the back the way the whole appearance, and it would give us the storage that we need. That even if it was twice the size of all the sheds that are there, it'd look better, and it'd provide a heck of a lot more than twice the amount of storage.
So,
Dare I say this? first student is looking for, if the Butler shed leaves, to have another place to put some things. It's not an immediate need right now, but it will be.
The per square footage rental of ground space is going up, but you sure, I'm absolutely always game for it.
So I guess my only question personally is, would we want to put it in the back corner of the parking lot, or do we want to cut back a bit on the edge of the parking lot and extend it and put the shed there? Slash garage.
I think, so personally, I think an extension would be better, because I think we limit the amount of parking we have now. If we eat up, call it 5 spaces by doing that, we've done well keeping off of the town garage over here parking, so I would say if we push back just a
Just
little
even
bit.
when you have events here, you know, parking is
No, I just-
hard anyway, so I would agree.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm looking at like extending it out, because that way, I'm just thinking of plowing purposes.
Right.
You
Yeah,
plow
yeah.
right by the door,
Yep,
you don't have to back drag and push and.
right, because these town trucks are not small, and they do a good job, and they get through here for us. Let's not make it more complicated for them.
Sure. All right.
Yep.
I just have something that I don't know if the building and grounds, we talked about the phase 2 part of the playground
So
before.
we met with the playground committee, and there was a couple of questions on what they were really looking at, whether it was gonna be ADA compliant, and then also about the paths in the playground. So the playground committee,
And they're still working on it, so they did come up with some alternatives other than that one piece of equipment. They were looking at what would it be like if there were smaller, you know, maybe it'd be more manageable money-wise to do smaller things. So they're looking at that, but they are looking at different variety of ways that we could do the path. So it's not just you have to have a cement pad or you just have to have a rubber pad. There are options there. So they're actively looking and getting prices and things, but
I just wanted to make you aware, just because I heard it on the radio. The board of directors for the North Conway Community Center is looking to make that playground, which is heavily used, ADA accessible. So I know we have talked about grant money, and that one of the selling points we could have had is that we're the only ADA accessible community playground in the area. It's just still in a different area, but I just wanted you to know that there's another playground group that's looking to do that same thing, so it might limit the amount of grant money we could access, but.
Is that North Conway? That's like 3 hours of traffic in the summer dome. I think we'll be fine.
I know, but some people probably go through Madison to get to that 3-hour traffic.
from a personal standpoint, I did have a relative of mine who comes here on the weekends and really likes the fact that ours is fenced in for his children to not worry about what planet they're taking off on, so.
Yeah.
Not a resident of the town, just somebody that comes and uses it.
Yep.
Ed, I wanted to, well, Ed and Jeremy, I wanted to ask you one question, because we're talking about that and possibly paths. I feel like in the winter, the thaw happens, it pools over here, right? Like you guys can't use out back here for a period of time?
there's a time when the snow melts because it's coming down off of that hill and right up against the building, that there's like where the basketball hoop is, there's a spot there. But it's, I mean, we didn't even go out front this year. So it's all depends on what that winter and how that thaw happens. But it doesn't mean that, it's not that the whole playground can't, but it always depends on, we are so weather dependent and it can change day by day.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I wondered, like, would that help that?
Right, yeah, so the water would shut off there, and the way the driveway pitches, you can probably get it out to the brook
Yeah,
that way. Everything else pools here.
yeah,
The problem is the playground area is the lowest spot in the entire area, and the building's up higher. And as far as I know, there's no drainage under the building to actually get the water
yeah.
We
out
should
of there.
heat it.
There are drains out there, but they're just dry wells. So
Yeah.
unless the ground's permeable, it's not gonna go anywhere.
It's probably clay.
Probably, and rocks.
Yeah.
Most of Madison.
Other building grounds, questions for buildings and grounds? Master plan.
I went to my first meeting last month, going to my next meeting Wednesday.
basically they had done a community forum where anybody could come, and they are working with a company, and I didn't bring my packet with me, but the company ran the community forum and took everything that was transposed and kind of they did notes on big poster paper, and they took all that information back to their offices and they kind of compiled it, and that's what they presented to us. That were the major concerns and things that people wanted to look at addressing. There was like housing and there were housing and like bringing businesses to the area, and just different things that community members are concerned about, but they still want to keep the small town feel. So this, I believe at this next meeting, there was also a survey put out, like a Google form type of survey. So I think that might be what we're going over at this next meeting. But it was very interesting just to hear what the results of that effort was, and I'll be interested to hear if the survey aligns a lot with the in-person forum that happened. And the company was very pleased because there were questions asked about, was the turnout good? Because I think it was 20-something people that were part of the forum, and they said actually that is a really good turnout on a Saturday from such and such a time, that people actually took time out of their weekend, which is sometimes their only free time, to come and do that. So the company was impressed that we had that amount of input in that particular portion. So I found it very interesting, that the results, and I'll bring you more when I know what the next phase is about.
9/13.
Yeah, that was last week. Was it?
Thursday.
Yeah.
All these days are running together.
When's the next meeting for that?
Not for a while.
Yeah, not till
That's
September.
September, yeah.
Is it quarterly? Yeah.
It's 3 times a year I think we're doing. So this meeting was the best one I've been to so far. They had high school students there to talk about their ELOs, extended learning opportunities. So this is when kids go out and kind of design their own class with a business in the area. So there was a student who went to Saco Bay Physical Occupational Therapy place in Conway. All of them did a fabulous job presenting, just very articulate, very professional, really, really appreciative to the businesses and to the tech coordinator. There was the WUFA training, which is the wilderness rescue training that is done by Josh McMillan at the North Conway Fire. So they go so many Sundays they go and they do trainings at that, and they do a lot of reenactments, and they, some of them are injured and they have to treat the injured, and how would they manage that. Another student went to the Merriman House or Mineral Springs. But they all just were very good at, and there was an engineering, so one of the Madison's people was a partnership where the 2 females worked on an engineering project, architectural type engineering project, and submitted for a contest. And this was, I think, their 2nd year of doing it.
3D model, everything.
Yeah, which they forgot. I felt bad. They left it in the room. But they actually plan it out. They have to do the research. They have to have all these things that they take into account. And they did very well in the competition. They did really well in certain aspects last year, and so they were trying to work on improving some of their other areas that were lower from the year before. And everybody, I think, was a junior.
I think you're right. Maybe one senior. I think there was actually a senior because they talked about where they were
Oh,
going.
she
Yeah.
was actually 17, I think she said, but she was graduating
Right.
a year early. That was the Madison student. So it was just really phenomenal to hear the opportunities that they've had and how they've taken advantage of it, and how some of them weren't really sure what they wanted to do, while others were really sure what they want to do when they get out of high school. And they have either found a path that they now know they want to pursue by doing this, or it's reinforced the path that they already had really kind of thought that they wanted to do. So I just thought that was super, super amazing. And what came out of some of the discussions is Amy Frechette and is it Chris? Who's the tech?
Christine Thompson.
Christine. They all were very open to coming to do various presentations to sending towns boards on whatever we are interested in hearing from them, whether it's the data, like looking at data or curriculum or anything like that. So they threw that kind of out, that they would be willing to make the effort to do that, which I thought was really great to hear.
I think if we have them come, it should be publicly noticed well in advance
Yeah.
not open to, but so the public can all
Can come in here.
Much more than, have it in
So-
the gym if people want to come and hear directly how their tax dollars would be spent.
So would anyone be opposed to inviting them at our October board meeting?
October?
Yes. Yeah, I'm pushing it out there a little bit. I mean,
It just seemed like a random.
well, I was thinking September, but September we're just back into school,
All right.
and they are too. So
Well, and if we do October or later, it gives us another chance to meet as an SAU 9, SAU 13 board. Also, yeah, I was hoping that we would take advantage of that, even if it's just to kind of look to see how do our 7th grade Madison students do when they get to the middle school, because we don't send them until 7th grade. Are they at a disadvantage or are they doing fine? I just think some of those, but I think the presentation in and of itself, if you all, I'm sure they're not going to bring students, but it was just very phenomenal to see, like, I mean, let's face it, Kennett doesn't always get the greatest rap. It's always a lot of negative talk, but to see these students and how they presented themselves, it's just like how we feel when we see the presentations here. And knowing that even though there are students, Amy said, there are students, they're ours.
they're Conway students,
Even though they're
but
yours, they're
yes.
ours.
Right.
And
Once
to
they're there,
see-
they're both.
Yeah, they're an intricate part of the community. So I just thought it was a really great meeting, that one.
Best joint board meeting I've been to in 5 years.
Yeah.
Easily, hands down.
I got a random question. If our students go, do we get any sort of report back on these 9th graders as they went up through, or 7th graders as they went up through, how they progress? Is there? I know
If
there's
we
not necessarily
request,
standardized testing.
information, Amy's been very forthcoming. If you want information about your students, she would gladly do
I'm
that.
just to Deb's point, like, hey, they started out here, and then when they go through high school, they get to there. I
Right.
mean, is it relevant?
I think we would
I'm
have
not
to
an
just-
educator. Is it relevant data to have?
Yeah, I think so. It depends. I mean, at the high school level, they're using less diagnostic testing, and it's more like they're getting the PSAT, SAT information. But we could certainly see what that common assessment looks like. If
Or
there's
even like the 7th and 8th grade, whatever assessment was it, NEWA?
Yeah.
SAS.
NEWA, and then you always have the state test
Yeah.
too.
NEWA,
So
yeah.
I mean,
Just as a snapshot to see how
Yeah.
our students
Yeah.
progress, whether to Deb's point, are they
Yeah.
ahead, behind?
Yeah.
They start here and they end up,
Yeah, the other point, we can certainly do that. The other points I would just mention, They gave out some great information, speaking of data, on the enrollment in the CTC Center by town,
Oh, I should've
by
brought that,
interest.
yeah.
I have it too. I will email it to the board because it was actually really, really great information.
Yeah, they did it by, like, Freedom has a page, we have a page, Tamworth has a page, so
Yeah.
you can see by year who's enrolled in how many
Yeah,
classes.
I'll make sure you all get that.
Thank you. Sherry?
That data, I thought the last time we met with them, they did have a program going, but it was like in its infancy stages.
The report card that they were working on?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes. I'm sorry.
Sounds like that's still a work in progress.
But
Actually,
they were remember they said they were
yes.
following them
It's,
through?
yep,
Right.
it's K to 12, so it should follow them through, yep. I believe we're moving, it's been a company that we're working for, I'm sorry, if you don't know, I work for SAU 9, so, it's a company that, got us started, so everything's in Google Forms, which is not the nicest way, or spreadsheets, it's in Excel, not, it's just messy, and you have to click all these different places, so it will be more of a formatted thing, and it is supposed to, it's standards based, and it goes from competency based, it goes from K to 12, and our programs are now gonna be more aligned K to 12 in some areas, so.
Okay, thank you.
But I think those are the things that they would wanna
Yeah.
come and kinda,
And I threw out October just trying to configure when might work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets,
Gives-
doesn't really get us into the budgets either.
Right.
Kinda. it
Gives
does,
them
but it's
time to
not.
plan, but gives us time to promote as well. Then on the list of agenda items.
Sure.
For October.
Sure.
I love this. I got 2 check marks. All right. Alrighty. Anything else? Negotiations we're still working on. We're actually meeting on the 11th. So that's where we're at. We haven't moved anywhere in the last couple months. So. Any other questions of the committees?
I would just say it was also nice to see that, I mean, there's a lot of new faces on the SAU 9 board, but one was missing, and there were a lot of new faces, so it was, I'm sorry if I'm being obvious, but they spoke and asked questions too, so it was nice that it wasn't just always the same
Just a
towns
listening
asking
to, yeah.
questions about different things, so.
Good. Thank you. All right, moving on to superintendent search update. I guess that's answered. Stipend position, substitute coordinator, head teacher, and Madison rec liaison. Didn't realize I had it on here later on.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk to those now? Do you want to?
If you have time.
So we can, if we want to go back down to that. We do have a parent request, and I know the parent's been sitting in the room all night long. So I'm happy to jump that and go back to that if that's the case.
Yep.
Parent is up next, school calendar. I apologize, we ran a little.
No worries, thank you, I appreciate your time. Catherine Meek, I just wanted to ask the school board if you would be willing to consider changing the first day of school so that it does not fall on the New Hampshire primary election.
Thoughts or concerns?
Does that impact the CBA?
No, would not. The professional development days would have already been in place. That's the biggest hoop to jump through as far as making sure there's a certain amount of PD days before the start of school.
Concerns?
My concern, so there's the security issues, that I brought up last month.
Okay.
In addition to that, I think it's just unnecessary chaos for the first day of school. It's already an event, there's already heightened emotions, especially, parents and kids who are new here, going through the muddled drop-off and pick-up process when there's, a parking lot and full of people. Taking pictures of their kids on the first day, political signs in the background, doesn't seem like a great timing. And I know we've already discussed this, and I may not have continued to pursue it, but after we spoke about it, or I mentioned it last month, I happened to mention it to a few other parents, and they were surprised that these two things overlapped, and they weren't happy about it. And I can only speak for a small group of people. I know there are probably people who love the idea, and that's great. I'm just, I guess I'm just speaking for those who don't love the idea. So those are my primary concerns. I know it's a complicated process, and I'm not trying to make any work for anybody. Just wanted to ask if you'd consider it, and if it's not doable, I understand.
I would you be wanting to see us start the next day after? Is that
Wednesday.
I don't really have a preference. I mean, like whatever would make the most sense, but I guess.
Because Monday's the holiday, right?
That's right.
Right.
And then, wow, Tuesday.
It's a late.
Does
It's
election-
it's a late Labor Day,
Got it. Right, because that's the second Tuesday,
but it's the first
Monday. Got it. So, thoughts?
I think her concerns are valid. I think it is going to be messy.
I think the only question is, where do you take the extra day? Do you take it on the end, or is there someplace?
I would put it on the end. That would be my recommendation.
Would we have any, I know it's been reviewed by the CBA, by the association.
Yes.
Would we have to get
Would it need to be re-ratified?
right?
No, they just provide input.
So they provide input.
So what day, sorry, I don't,
So
what
this-
day would we get out now without changing it?
Next year.
Do you know?
I'm hopeful it's on the website. That's Allison.
Heather Sherwood, would this impact first student at all if we change it
They
now?
can roll with it. It'll have a bigger impact on payroll because the calendars are
I know somebody that came in.
being built right now.
That's-
So if anything has been built for Madison, we'll have to delete it all and start over.
Here it is. It's on the
So
website.
that was transportation question.
I said for student, well, I will need to notify them.
Right.
It probably will put us out of sync with Conway as well.
I was gonna say, is Conway have school that day?
I
Do you,
believe
Yes.
they do. Yes.
I think we start earlier.
You start earlier, but I
Yeah.
They're
believe
on
you go-
180 days, we're on.
We
ours.
don't have voting
in the
Right.
school,
Always.
it's at,
Not
not
right.
always, but sometimes we do. So
So we
I
put
can look
us
at.
out to where?
Currently, you end school on the 18th of June,
Which is
a Friday,
Friday.
and you would come back on the Monday.
Which I will say we have to do this year, and it seems very silly
You, Conway?
Yep.
Got it.
So
because of snow days.
we couldn't, is there a day in there that we,
Could flop a professional
Uh,
development day?
Teacher workshop.
Most of those days have been scheduled.
Right, but if there was something a little later in the year that we could maybe.
The March day is contractual. If they need to have a PD day then, and I believe there's some trainings that are happening in the early fall that we've.
I would say if you're looking at choices, I would look at January 15th as the one.
Okay, Kate, I'm gonna,
That was one of my questions, was the implication for staff, so I'm Kate Stanley, I'm a teacher in the building and currently the titled union president, I'm gonna call it that. We have a council. I'm the titled union president, but not the union president. So that was my question, was the implications for staff, and how that affects us. I will say, I can say that staff wouldn't be happy having to come back on a Monday, neither would kids.
Staff already, it's already a teacher workshop day on the Monday, on the
It's a teacher
calendar.
workshop day on the Monday, so, yeah, so that would be my question, if we could just flop.
You could always push a teacher workshop day to the 8th.
The other thing that
right.
that I would
If you
consider,
started the day later.
well, I would just want the board to be aware of what we've done this past year is try to do a lot of SAU collaboration across the English language arts areas. That's been, I think, really successful, and that's all to the staff. They've done a fantastic job there. So what we've done is this calendar's been approved in Freedom and Tamworth. So those days have kind of been built in for some of those activities to have the ability to continue that cross district collaboration. It's not to say this is going to, one date's gonna break it up, but that will impact that day to have those activities.
Because the other two schools would not change their calendar, right?
Correct.
What is yours?
We start on the 3rd of September, so SAU 9.
Got it, so you're starting a week, the Wednesday.
And we
before-
do have
Thursday.
school on the 8th.
You do.
Yep.
And if you're flexing a teacher workshop day for us, it might make better sense to take the October 9th and put it on September 8th. Just swap that.
3 days and
Okay.
the kids will have
Kate.
I'm just wondering if you can bring this to the other two school boards, because I know Tamworth, I'm a Tamworth resident, so Tamworth does vote in the school as well,
Yes.
so I wonder if there are families that have the same concerns.
Yeah.
And I don't know where Freedom votes, but,
They go
So
back
then
and
we
forth
would
between
align
the
if
town
we
hall
did
and the
wait.
school,
Okay.
depending.
so
We-
it's just a thought to bring
yeah.
it back to those other.
Yep, I mean, I think if we make a decision here
Kids start
tonight,
on the 3rd.
then obviously Mike would bring that back and let them,
Yeah.
those other boards know
I
that.
mean, I totally understand Catherine's thoughts, as it being a first day of school piece.
Yeah.
Like, you and I have had conversations about the fact that I value being able to take my students to
Yeah,
schools.
yeah.
Okay.
I know I'm
I'd-
not a teacher.
I'd just like to say that I totally understand her security concerns and all that. We've been doing this for a long time, voting in the school and kids coming in and out. But I like to keep it the way it is. I like them to, good, bad, or indifferent, I like to them to experience the voting.
Yeah.
See that in action. We've never had a security issue thus far.
And
As far as chaos, is gonna be chaos everywhere, so I'd like to keep it as is. That's-
Yeah, so I agree with having,
People that like to see that as well, because we always talk about, collaboration with the school and the community, well, this is it. So,
I agree with having school during elections, and I think I talked about making sure we had it. I didn't realize the first day of school was an election day, and I think that's probably more of the concern, that it's just parking lot chaos all the way around. So yes,
Well, and you're not gonna be able to eat in the gym, so
Right.
it's eating in the classroom.
yeah,
And if you are gonna do something related, like, it's the first day of school, are you really gonna teach them anything about
Right.
voting on that first day?
Right.
So
So
it's not perfect.
yep.
I think it's just the way it falls, right? Like that, it's the first day of school. It's,
Yeah.
and that
I don't
does
remember
create a
any
lot of
others that have
chaos.
fallen on this particular day.
And-
It's
and
an
they-
anomaly year.
We're already here on the November election too, right?
Correct. The only election that we're not is town.
And if there's a national election, I don't hold school. That's
Right,
too-
national election was different, that's when they told us not to have
So
school.
in November, when we vote, kids will be in school then.
Yes. Yeah,
I thought that one
I
was
thought we
I
had,
didn't think so. I thought
it's
that
the
was a teacher
second
workshop.
Tuesday in November.
Yeah, that's,
I thought you were saying we were.
the 10th? Yeah, we're in school on the 10th. Or is it the 11th?
No, it's always on Tuesday.
The second Tuesday.
Yeah,
10th.
so we are there then.
In November.
Because that I could see more of a teaching opportunity.
Right, kids have been in school, that you can prompt them to what you're gonna go see, rather than, hey, welcome back, let's get in the classroom and come on downstairs.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to flex that day with a teacher workshop day.
Okay, I will take a second to that.
I'll second.
Second by Deb. Any other discussion?
Is there any preference on the day that you would like flexed, or do you want that to leave
You
that
had
up to us?
mentioned an October day, so.
Or January.
I would prefer October 9th. If we're gonna do that September 8th, they're close enough that would be an easier swap and then leave it for the January, because we're more likely to do collaborative things in January.
Okay.
So you would want the
October 8th, October 9th.
to
Swapped
be
with September
the
8th.
September 8th. Okay.
That would be my personal
I'll amend my
preference.
motion to be.
Okay, to swap the October 9th to
To
September
September.
8th, and have the first day of school start on the
9th.
9th of September. Second
And I
by
re-
Deb.
yeah.
Any other discussion?
I guess my only thing is like, I guess we need to make the decision. I was thinking, should we poll the community, like the parents, like the staff? But I agree. I think it's going to be chaos for the first day. It just.
If it wasn't the first day, I would
Yeah.
say leave it, but
Yeah.
where it is the first day.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
You sure can.
So do you think where it's not really changing the ending time, that would be more acceptable to staff?
I don't want to leave it hanging like months, weeks from now. Just we're building payroll calendars
Yes.
in the software for next year.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I mean, I don't have a preference. I mean, it's a work day, but when we're building out to the end of school and when we're telling NHRS this is our pay schedule, we have enough problems with them. We don't need to change our last day of school after we've submitted that.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
So I think we're gonna try to move this motion or defeat this motion right here, right now. Good? Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. So,
Thank you all for the discussion and for your time, I appreciate it.
thank you. All right. Did we want to discuss the stipend positions now, or do we want to table that?
Can we ask some questions? I don't
sure can.
necessarily think that we need to vote on them
Yep.
right now, but in particular, I'm just curious about the Madison Rec liaison. I know we had some discussion, and am I right in saying that the rec director is also a
Staff member
Staff
at the
member?
school. I believe that is still the correct, yes.
Okay, so I'm just curious if that is a position that is still needed. Is it something that we can let go of and, or not?
Thoughts, concerns?
It's certainly not in the CBA, so it's not contractual. As far as the value that position brings, having another employee that is also involved, I mean, I would defer to Heather for the day-to-day.
So that employee goes to, or tries to make all the rec meetings and it serves in that purpose as liaison. So I think it's important to remember that just because currently the rec director is a staff member doesn't mean that they always will be a staff member. And there's definitely that delineation of roles and responsibilities, making sure that there's communication with the other staff about anything or just offering advice or feedback based on what's happening at school, what's happening there, different alternatives. It's not like a make it or break it for me. I think it's been beneficial, but if the board says it's not worth the 1,500, then the board says that. So I think the other two are definite ones that I would hope don't go away. But this one we put in place because of the rec coming on and taking over the sports and all of that. So we would have that constant flow of communication going back and forth. So.
Yeah, the only reason I bring that one up is just because I'm not really sure what that position does. I know it's like between school, but like is that person like signing out the building whenever it needs to, like what are their duties? Are they the ones giving staff all the list of kids that need to go to Burkefield for soccer practice? And I just don't know what that position does.
I don't know that I could tell you 100% about that. I know that it's a lot of communication. It's making sure that rosters are here. It's making sure that we all know what the rosters are and what's happening which day and what's going. How is that different than what that person would typically do? That's a hard one because if we had a different admin assistant, they may not take on that responsibility, right? I mean, so you're talking about you have people that are in place and this is what they're doing and it's kind of natural for that to happen. And part of it is because the person who's doing it has experience when there was a rec committee years and years ago. So, bringing
Before it
that
came back to
knowledge
the
base and experience to that. So, I mean, it's everything you would expect a liaison to do. It's that constant communication. It's that person that is paid to answer those questions and to do those things, to make sure that communication is going, that kids get to where they need to be, that if there's coaches, whatever, that, just make sure, hey, yeah, you can use the gym because it's raining or that kind of stuff.
And then my concern would be, is if we put this off, it would seem to me that that position in particular needs to be approved now, because aren't they gonna need to do some of that stuff over the summer?
For
with
sure,
the-
and I think she was looking to see if there's a rec meeting this week, so, yeah.
That's my
but-
concern if we put it off.
Sure.
I have two comments. One to that, I absolutely think it was something that was needed when the rec committee was reformed. There was a lot of tribal knowledge that none of us would have known without that person being there. At this point, I think that's really up to the administration if they really think it's necessary. But because that level of information share isn't as needed now, but I get it. I guess the stipend position for the substitute coordinator and the head teacher, which the head teacher I'm assuming is for the after school and before.
No.
Head teacher is when I'm absent, then they are the person who is in charge.
Okay, so it's only when
And
you're
that is
absent.
collectively bargained for.
Yeah.
That is in the CBA.
So, but even like the substitute coordinator, I just, wouldn't that be kind of an administrative duty?
No, that's a big one. We have one in each of the 3 schools. That is a lot of responsibility as far as aligning. You know, you get the morning phone call. You get you get the people that, hey, I need a sub for this day. I'm out this day. The 5:30 a.m. phone call. Then they're trying to wrangle up subs, and that's an important one. We have one in each building.
I haven't worked in any school where that's been an administrative position.
Well, I just never, I guess.
At our school, the secretary handles it, but I don't know if it's another stipend
Or if she gets
position.
something.
At John Fuller, it used to be a stipend position, so.
That's what I was just curious about. Like, has this always been? Because again, we're going into like our enrollment is down. Like, there's, we still have a pretty full staff. Like, do we really need to keep? Can we add that to someone's, list of?
I think the biggest issue, I hear what you're saying, Sherry, 100%. And I think if it was something where it's like they swing by the office and say, hey, by the way, I'm going to be out of, at a workshop, or I have a doctor's appointment. It's really those things like, hey, it's 5 a.m. and someone's calling you on your phone and you need to wrangle up a sub. Those are the things that it's really hard.
So the other question I have is for future thinking, is this another area, especially, I'm talking specifically the substitute coordinator, where we can share resources?
Perhaps. I mean, I never want to say like flat out no.
Don't all substitutes have to go through the SAU to sign up as a substitute?
They have to go through the background check through the SAU to be a substitute.
And they get on the list.
And they get on the list that's managed by the SAU, and then the SAU delineates that list out to the 3 schools. And you might have some subs that say, hey, I only want to work at Madison because Madison's great. I don't want to be in X, Y, or Z.
But I don't think it needs to be a Madison person who can look at that list and say, oh yeah, this is a Madison. So maybe it's something that could be shared in the future with a
Potentially.
bigger stipend or a
like
a much more enticing
Yeah.
thing. Not necessarily for this year, but
Potentially, there are some schools, bigger schools, contract that out. You go through a service and they do it. I mean, I think the nice thing of having it in house is
We're
that,
definitely not there.
you're not. You're not. I'm just bringing. No, you're not. The nice thing about having it in your own school is you build relationships
Yes.
with people, and hey,
Yep.
you know that I can get Mrs. Johnson as a sub on
Right.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I know that she can't do this day. I know that she's reliable. All those facets.
and they're always in the building, so you can hit them up and say,
You
hey,
got
I've got
it.
another date.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sharon.
I was the sub-coordinator at Kennett Middle School for 3 years. To your point, Sherry, it isn't a job necessarily that you can just put on someone. You have to be willing to do that, because again, my phone goes off at 4:30 in the morning with a text message from a teacher that says, hey, I'm really sick, I'm not coming in. And then I would then get on the phone with a list of people who specifically I knew would substitute for I mean, sometimes it gets personality driven, as that substitute's not gonna work well in that classroom because of their skill sets, their personality, their whatever. So it becomes a very, 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 there's a lot of moving parts to it. There's a lot of moving parts, and you have to have somebody who's willing to do it. It is a volunteer position. It's not something that's prescribed in anyone's position description. I did it because I thought, because when I joined the school, we were in COVID, and it made the most sense. At some points in other schools, especially Kennett Middle School, because kids are moving classes and that, we were using substitutes only for portions of days. Like, you're gonna substitute for this period, and this period. And you're not gonna substitute for period number 2, or you're gonna substitute for a different teacher. I have 2 subs, but I got 3 teachers out, so now I'm managing which teachers, and so you need access to their schedules, you need access to a whole lot of stuff, and if it's somebody from outside the school, they don't have that access.
Thank you.
Can I make a motion to fund
Sure.
the stipend positions?
You should give them more money. Thankless.
Okay, that's a budget committee member on camera.
Yes, so speaking as the chair of the budget committee, she said double those, I heard.
You said give them more.
Motion by Jeremy
Yes.
to
Fund the stipend.
the three stipend
Are we
positions.
re-nominating them, the same people to the, is that
I
what
thought
we're
we
doing?
just-
We can,
I thought we were like trying to see if we need them.
yep, we can go there,
And
then nominate.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine, I'm good with that. So motion by Jeremy to fund the 3 stipend positions as they currently are funded. Second?
I'll second.
Second by Deb. Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? 3 and 1 abstention. So that motion has failed. Do I have another motion? Motion by Ed? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Motion by-
No, you go.
Alright, I'd like to motion the substitute coordinator and head teacher position.
Second by Deb. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
So just those 2?
Just those 2. So head teacher and sub coordinator.
Sorry, who seconded that, Jim?
Me.
Second by Deb. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? 3 opposed, 1 and abstention, 1. Okay, now do we want to nominate for those positions?
Wouldn't that come from?
That's going to come from this side of the room. Nomination for the substitute coordinator and head teacher position.
Lisa Curran for substitute coordinator and Jamie Buck for head teacher. They're the ones that are currently in those positions.
Okay. Motion by Ed, second by Deb. Discussion.
I just appreciate you guys teaching me a little bit more about those,
Why? The why.
yeah, like, now it makes sense to me.
Perfect. Any other discussion? Second, Deb again. All in favor? Opposed? 1 abstention. Abstention is obvious.
But does
Okay.
it need to be captured in the minutes?
I can
I feel like you
capture
have
in
a
the
board
minutes because
policy
my
reciting
wife
I
is.
captured it.
No,
No,
the-
why he
the
abstained.
reason of my
Oh.
abstention is the sub-coordinator is my wife.
I feel like there was a recent policy that mentioned
You
that.
don't have to unless you're asked about your abstention.
I was asked.
There you have it.
And answered.
Sorry.
That's okay. Meal pricing.
Okay, there's a lot of information in your packet. I'll try to go through it and make it make sense. There should be one at the top that says SY 26-27 weighted average price requirement calculator.
Page 38.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So they take our unrounded price requirement from this current year, which is 401, and they bump it up by 2% plus the consumer price index to 416. So that's kind of our target price. They're saying that's what we should be charging. And then
Only go up 10 cents.
I have no idea what order these are in. I'm sorry, I pulled these out separately.
Yep.
Up page it says SY 2627 price raise calculator.
That is 39.
Thank you. So this is typically what we do. The guidance in the past has always been that you can raise your lunch meal price no more than 10%. The instructions on this were a little different. I hesitate to recommend any more. But our current price is $3.20. If we stay with a raise of 10%, it would take it to $3.30. And then we would still have a remaining shortfall for the 26-27 year of 60 cents, which just
So that would be a 10-cent increase?
10-cent increase. And I know last year, when we talked about that, we had a lot of discussion about lunches and participation. This year, as of right now, the most current count, 35.4% of our kids are free and reduced, and 64.6, didn't round these all up, are paid lunches. Yet so far through April, our free and reduced have been 49% of the lunches served, and our paid kids have been 51%. So these price increases affect that 64% of the student population, and they account for a little more than half the lunches that we serve.
Now, if we raise the paid cost per lunch, does our free and reduced cost?
Free is always free. Reduced is always 40 cents until we get
Right, but
different guidance.
does the reimbursement from the federal government change? No. So that does not, what we charge does not adversely affect what they pay.
And I will say I put a couple other calculators in here. One was to, I'm trying to remember which way these went now that I can't see them.
So the non-federal calculator and the split calculator.
The split, so we could split the difference, raise it 5 cents and go to $3.25 instead of $3.30. And basically there's a shortfall that the district would need to make up that totals $5,530.10. Right now for this year, I'm projecting your food service transfer to be close to $40,000. You already more than pay that in. So that was the long way of saying you don't have to raise it 10% if you feel like the families in Madison can't support it. We are already in compliance with the amount of money that the district contributes to the food service program. You don't have to raise it at all because we will still be in compliance with the amount of money that Madison contributes to the food service program. But I will say that our target price to get to our cost per meal is higher than $3.20.
And if you don't keep up with it, you can only.
You always get behind.
Yeah, you get behind.
Farther behind.
Can I just give them an estimate what the price is right now?
$3.20.
No.
Oh,
No, what our current price is, the $4.30.
oh, $4.30.
Oh, cost per meal?
Yeah.
So cost per meal is
Estimated
currently
as of
what?
today's date.
Right. and
Is
that's not-
$4.30 per meal?
So you're just trying to wrap my head. You're saying that we can go up 11%,
You can go up 10 cents.
and that's as high as we can raise it.
That's the
That's a s-
maximum raise per year.
That's
Okay.
Sounds like
federal
the post
guidelines,
office.
right?
Good.
Yeah,
That's federal guidelines.
That's federal guidelines.
right.
But we could do less than
You
that.
can do less, and I'm saying you already transfer enough to support the food service that you can choose to do less, and it's not going to put you out of compliance.
What would put us out of compliance? Like, is there, like, what's the number?
Is there a percentage of cost per meal versus
Right.
price that
What's
would
the-
throw us?
No, but at some point, if you go year after year without making an increase or not enough, it's a little hard. We haven't had an administrative review for the district in 6 years or more. It's supposed to be every 3.
That just sounds like audit that I don't.
It is audit, and I fully expect to have one next year, so I'll probably have a better answer next year.
What is the recommendation from the administration?
So we were recommending 10 cents on lunch. And even higher, breakfast has no limit. 25 cents on paid breakfast.
I'm trying to think the last time, I don't remember the last time we raised this. I know breakfast was last year.
It's been a little while.
Right, we didn't raise it last year. I know we had a lot of discussion.
Didn't we raise it 10 cents last year for lunch?
I do think we did.
I think we did.
Was it? Okay.
We didn't raise breakfast to
I
where
think
we needed.
Right, we had a
I think
lot
you
of
didn't
discussion.
touch breakfast because you'd raised it the year before.
Right, because there was discussion around, do we, because wasn't Tamara talking about fully funding?
Yes.
And we had some discussion around what would it cost us to fully
That's
fund?
personally, that's where I wanted to go last year.
Right,
and
so I remember we had
That's
some
where I still wanna go.
discussion around that.
And I think to do that, we need to budget it, and we can look at that fully. Madison does receive a substantial amount of money from the federal or the National School Lunch Program. So I mean, Tamworth, when Tamworth made that decision, so you can do it. Actually, I said that backwards. You receive a substantial amount of money from your paid sales. Like 51% of the lunches you serve are to paid kids' families. And Janet's collection record is nearly perfect. So you receive the paid meal price for those. More than half
and
of
maybe,
lunches.
I'm just throwing, cause I know it's gotta be a budget thing, but just throwing the idea out, is it possible to have the breakfast be free and universal and the lunch, like take it in smaller steps to see how things work and.
That's just what you would
Yeah,
pay for as the operating budget.
So we
Cause
lose.
it's usually less for
yeah.
breakfast, right?
So if we were to do that, do we lose the federal funding for those students?
No, even Tamworth doesn't, they don't particularly care who pays the money, and they just want to make sure that their federal funds are not supplementing what should be paid meals. That you're not charging so little that the federal funds supplement the paid kids.
Okay, all right.
But if the district wants to choose to fund that money, it doesn't matter to the National School Lunch Program, then it's the district paying it, not the parents.
Can you tell me how much we collected in the last year for breakfast?
For dollars?
Rough.
Let's see.
Rough within the pennies, fine with me.
And while you're thinking about that, with Tamworth making that switch, have they had less families do the application for free and reduced lunch?
Nothing that's dramatic.
Nothing dramatic, no.
Okay.
But I say that they also have a much higher number of students on the direct certification list than Madison. So I don't know what number of students would actually qualify under the application. You guys seem to have more that qualify on the paper application than you do on the direct certification
But
list.
that, to your point, Heather, that was a concern that we had, that if that's what we were offering, that would impact that. So we had a close eye on that, so it was nothing significant.
And I think that would be another play for if we don't make everything free at once, that we take a little step, see if that impacts our free and reduced.
Because I feel like
And
right after COVID, when we were doing the universal
Yeah.
feeding, that our numbers did go down.
Yep.
With
For
applications.
applications for free and reduced lunch, because everybody was universally.
Everything was free, yeah.
It didn't tie into that, but the free and reduced lunch, for those who don't know, ties into the Title I funding.
And
Lots of
maybe
other
this is
decisions.
just a discussion for, like, budget season for next year.
Okay.
But I would definitely like to move in that direction, or at least look at the figures when we're going
Okay.
over budget.
So last year you served 5,577 breakfasts at $2 a breakfast.
$10,000.
$11.
$10,000 roughly. So,
All of those were paid. None
That's
of them
total
were free and
breakfast.
reduced.
The paid breakfasts. $2,388. So you're talking $6,000 on the breakfast.
And then you'd have to bump it up because there'd be more people taking advantage of it.
And those
There's
were
less kids in the
students and
building.
not teachers.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, we have that now.
We have more kids taking advantage of our.
We have found declining enrollment doesn't always mean our number of meals served goes down.
Right. Yep.
Some of those
So,
waffle days.
so question for tonight, where would we like, I will entertain a motion to either keep it the same, increase it 5 cents, increase it 10 cents. What's the pleasure of the board?
I mean, you guys know the way I feel. I've said it since I've been here. Is I just feel like I know teachers are spending money out of their own pockets to put food in the classrooms. Kids are hungry. You know, I just, it's the most important meal of the day is breakfast. And if we can offer it to our kids, I think we should. And on the flip side for lunch, my whole thing is the parents that are paying full price for lunch, I'm sure a lot of them are on the cusp of struggling, you know, so to continue increasing it, it just makes it harder. So.
Yeah, and I think my experience as a teacher has been sometimes it's the families that are least able that make the exerted effort to pay it, even though they might be able to qualify for free. So I know I would propose like to go to $3.25 for the lunch because that's a nice round number.
Yep, so 5 cent increase rather than 10.
Yeah,
I will say, I think we did some looking, and Conway is currently $3.25 for students.
Okay.
I believe a little higher at the high school, middle school, but they also have larger portions, so
Yeah.
that would be expected.
Maybe I'm missing it in here, but is there a national average of how much to charge now?
No, southern part of the state is at $3.40, $3.50 and higher.
Okay.
I did look at those, kind of Londonderry, Hopkinton, Seacoast.
Well, those are definitely.
They can,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those are Londonderry Dairy. They have money.
So I guess I'll make a motion to raise lunch by 5 cents.
Okay, can I get a second?
Sure.
Second by Ed. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll just tell you, I just Googled average. Because AI finds everything nowadays. The cost per meal is about $3.09, and the range in prices from $2.92 to $3.58 is kind of where it sits.
Cost of
That must be cost of food.
Could be.
That doesn't
Maybe.
include salaries.
Yeah.
It's only AI. Just saying. It's only AI. Just threw it in quickly to see what it said.
AI can sometimes be stupid.
So I have a motion on the floor for $3.25 for school lunches. I have a second on the floor from Ed.
This.
Jeremy had a question.
Nope, I'm good.
You good?
Yep.
Any other discussion? Seeing,
I made the motion only for this year in hopes that we can move to,
so put it on through budget discussion to see what the cost would be to fully fund student lunches.
Breakfast?
Breakfast or, well, and or.
This is lunch, right?
We're just talking about lunch right now.
yeah, I don't want to raise the price of breakfast.
Okay. So motion for $3.25, second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Carries. Breakfast, motion to keep it the same,
Yep, I'll do that.
okay? Second by Ed. Any other discussion there? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? One opposition, did you get that?
No, I did not.
One opposed?
Who opposed?
Sherry.
Sure.
And no abstentions, but it carries. Thank
And
you.
you're keeping it at $2.
We're keeping that the same for breakfast, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then,
Do you want to touch adult meal prices? They're $3 for breakfast now, $5 for lunch.
and we can go up, what, $3 each on this?
You can do anything you want to adults.
Whatever you want.
People may not buy it for that,
Right, you
but
may
you
have
know.
diminishing
No.
returns.
How much
but-
is a coffee at
So,
the?
do we have to vote on that?
Right. We
Yes.
should, yes. So adult meals are how much for,
Three for breakfast and 5 for lunch.
That's current, and we were proposing $3.25 and $5.25. The idea is you sell enough outside of your student lunches to help subsidize the costs.
got it.
So I'll make a motion
to accept Heather's recommendation at $325
And $525.
and $525.
Second.
Second by Deb. Any other discussion?
Do they get the same lunch as whatever the kids are getting?
They get a larger
And they get a larger portion.
No, they do not.
You know?
Serving
No, they
sizes.
do not.
No.
They used to.
I'm sorry, it was 325 and
Okay,
525.
now.
That
It must be special
that is
treatment when I come over there.
standard
Miss
serving
Janet, do you
sizes.
give the superintendent special
Wow,
treatment?
that's different.
No, I do not.
They get large portions, then, right?
Okay, so 325 and 525 is the motion.
Motion and a second on the floor. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Can I just ask one
Oh,
question?
yeah.
Do we serve a lot of faculty?
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yep, there's sometimes, like, there was one day I had probably 12 that
Okay.
got our pizza, because we make our own homemade dough, just telling everybody that,
There.
make it here.
You should sell that as to go half
Oh, there you
baked.
go.
You know.
No, you can't,
There we-
because just like the portion size,
Sell the
I can't
recipe.
give a bigger portion size, because the National School Lunch Program tells me I can't.
Got it.
It's
All
not
right.
me saying that.
That's not me.
All right.
If you eat everything on that tray, you're full.
That's true.
Some of us can't even eat the
That's
whole
why I was
tray.
thinking I was getting a better, bigger serving.
Oh, it's bigger.
Okay.
That's what the kids get.
All right.
Sorry.
Motion and a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? One. Any
This really
abstentions?
messes up my CBA conversation.
Okay, motion passes. We're gonna
Carry
move on from
opposed.
that. Vote to expend from the building capital reserve. I'm gonna skip over that one first and accept a bid for the
Did you
bathroom.
close your
Do we
public
have
hearing?
Yeah. do we have to-
No, I haven't. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It's 7:08. I'm closing the public
Yeah.
hearing. I had to leave it open till at least 7:08. It is 8:39, having no more conversation related to it.
Get anything.
Okay, so a motion to accept the bathroom bids. We only received one. Does say we will review up to our policy. Tells us 3,
Well, we solicited.
but we solicited
Put out an RFP, yeah.
and only
He
received
said
one.
pay
So,
directly, put it in the paper, and.
so
put it
we
on
are
the
with,
website.
within the policy
Followed all the rules.
and the guidelines. Okay. So, motion to accept the bid from said company,
Cobalt?
Cobalt.
Can we read the amount?
Yes, the amount of the bid is 106,837. That's the number I've written down here, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Then can I get a second to that? Second by Ed. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Carries. Now I will need a motion to expend the money from the building capital reserve fund balance. To do so, motion by Ed, second by Jeremy. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye, carries. All right, motion to accept the $1,000 from the New Hampshire Agricultural in the Classroom Council.
Motion.
Motion by Jeremy, second by Sherry. Any other discussion?
Can we just make sure that it goes to something to do with the syrup and not just into a general? I know it'll go into the general
Earmarked.
fund, but earmark it for that
Earmarked
program.
for the
Possible future sugar house?
future
So
sugar,
I know it will be, but
yes.
just to,
And does that go into the,
It goes into the student activities account,
Student
so
activities
that's all
account.
tracked separately and it is tracked specifically for that.
okay, thank you.
you.
So I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? I was gonna oppose, but that's all right. Who wants to take extra money?
Jim, I should have asked, what, I mean, to approve
you may.
it, we should all get a bottle of syrup.
The money wasn't coming from the sale of the syrup. The money was,
Wanna talk to the kids? I'm sorry, I'm gonna take your syrup and you can't have it at breakfast.
I will accept, one more motion.
Motion adjourned.
Oh, that was we.
Yeah,
I was jumping at that.
Motion and second. Anybody opposed can stay.
Who's the
Okay.
second?
Devin, Ed, no matter which way you play it.
Okay.
We're out.
That's cute.
And